Hi, welcome back to Blind Dave. Now if you remember, last week we gave David Cameron MP a choice of 3 hot Daves for this Saturday night. There's Dave from London.
Hi.
Dave from Notting Hill in London.
This is the real thing.
And Dave from India. Well, I took David Cameron for a little spin, and of course, he went for Dave from India. I followed him on his journey over to Delhi for one night and a Dave. Here David Cameron is at the airport.
I'm at Heathrow Airport on my way to a visit to India.
And here he is arriving into Delhi to a warm welcome. Meanwhile, here's his lucky date, Dave from India, sending David Cameron directions to his BlackBerry. So David Cameron hopped on a tuk-tuk and left for the date, promising he'd tell me all afterwards. So David, what did you do with Dave on the date?
I saw him at his house where we had lunch.
The lunch sounds great, but I asked him a bit later, what they talked about.
One of the things we talked about at lunch was the whole issue of the environment and climate change.
Well, not the sexiest of topics, but let's find out how it went for Dave. Dave, what do you think of David Cameron?
Well, I feel a bit sorry for him in a way.
Why? I mean, what was the date like?
It was an absolute killer. It was an absolute killer.
It can't have been all that bad, can it?
You know, the guy's got a sense of humour. At least you feel that there's a bit of badinage.
So, the conclusion?
Stay in the dark or reach for the light.
Right, what does that mean?
It's memorable and it's true.
Right. Well, we're back in England now. We've heard what Dave thought about the date, but let's find out what David Cameron MP thought. So David, tell us where we are now.
Well, I'm back at my desk in Westminster after what was an absolutely brilliant visit to India.
Did he comment much on your looks, your appearance?
Even the one about my hair. But it was great. I was really surprised by how many comments there were and how widely they ranged.
Wow. So David Cameron MP, would you like to see Dave again?
I think we're going to try and do a bit more of this in the future. I can't promise all the time, but watch this space for something very exciting.
That exciting something was David Cameron's decision, whilst in India, to buy a plot of land for him and Dave. So David, I've looked at some photos of the settlement and there are lots of areas. I just wondered whereabouts you were planning.
In that centre ground, it's not some boggy ground.
All right. What are things moving along well?
Having gone into the centre ground, we know what we want to build there. We know the house we want to construct.
What David Cameron didn't know is that Dave had no feelings for him. I went to tell David Cameron the bad news.
So, tell us what you think.
Okay, so a lot of people have been asking
why you're being such a dick and can't understand why Dave doesn't love you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But David Cameron is not a man to give up. Least of all, give up on Dave. And so yesterday, he delivered this speech entitled, "The Future of Me and Dave." Here's the speech in full.
I believe that we need a new direction. Thank you very much.